Hello students, good morning. Welcome back to the session. Hope so you remember we were discussing with reference to evidences for evolution. We have spoken from evidences from paleontology. We were discussing about evidences from comparative anatomy and morphology. Of that, first one we have seen about homology and homologous organs. So now in today's class, we shall be discussing about analogy and analogous organs. What is analogy? It is the superficial similarity in appearance between organs of different organism because they carry out same function. That is the organ. For example, if you take what is that wings of birds and butterfly, yeah, they help in flying. So their wings of birds and butterfly appear to be similar. So this what can say superficial similarity. Structurally they are not same, but appearance is similar because they carry out the same function because there is the same need. So this can say phenomenon of superficial similarity in appearance between the organs of different organism because they carry out same function is called as analogy. So this analogy is based on convergent evolution. That is, what is called organisms from different place. They come together. They live in same area. So their requirement is same. So therefore, they say develop similar structure. So different organism carrying out same function. So this is what we call it as convergent evolution. So thus it indicates distinct relationship. Remember, homologous organs, they are homology. They speak about close relationship, but analogy speaks about distant relationship. So now let us discuss about analogous organs. So what are analogous organs? These are the organs which perform the same function because they have similar appearance but are structurally different. So that is, the organs perform same function, but origin wise, structure wise, they are different. So such organs are called as analogous organs. As I told you, the best example is wings of butterfly and birds. Yes, here you can see the wings of birds and butterfly, they appear to be superficially same. Appearance is same. But if you take this structure, wings of the bird, it is the modification of four limbs of vertebrate. It contains bones and feathers. Whereas wings of butterfly, it is made up of purely chitin. So therefore there is no bones or feathers in wings of insects or butterfly. So therefore, even though structurally they are different, but functionally they are known to be same because both of them require this wing to fly. So hence organs which are superficially similar but different in structure and origin are called as analogous organs. Let us go for other example for analogous organs, that is eyes of octopus and mammals. Yes, here both of the eyes appear to be same but structurally they are different. Functionally they are going to carry out same function, that is vision. But when you compare the eyes of octopus and eyes of mammals, the structural components are totally different because, for example, in mammals, if you take eyes, if you take human, it contains retina, then notice that cornea and so on. But in eyes of octopus, we do not come across like that. Okay, so therefore the eyes of octopus and mammals, even though functionally their function is to see objects, but structurally they are different, origin wise they are different, hence they are the example for analogous organs. Likewise, the other example is flippers of penguins and dolphins. So what are flippers? That is the forelimbs or front limbs of dolphin is called as flipper. Likewise, the forelimb of a penguin is called as flip. So here both of them, their function is almost same. they are going to what can say use for swimming or diving, but structurally they are different. So therefore, this is an example for analogous organ. So if you take why penguins, what can say, flippers and dolphins flippers do not they are example for analogous organ. Why mean? So you can see both use pectoral fins in similar way, but one is fish and other is mammal, so origin is different. So they don't have common ancestors. So function is same, origin is different. Hence, what we can call penguins flippers and dolphins flippers are example for analogous organs. You have the example from plant. For example, sweet potato and potato. You know, sweet potato is what can say root modification. So this is a modified root tubers. So they store food. And potato, it's a stem, underground stem. So therefore, this also is meant for storage of food. So both potato and sweet potato, they are function is same. They store food, but structurally one is what we can call potato is a stem and sweet potato is root. So therefore, origin is different, but function is same. Hence, they come under convergent evolution. So therefore, they are called as analogous organs. So that is with regarding to analogous organs and analogy. So therefore, students, very important is this. They are going to ask you define analogous organs, give example. Or for 1 mark, give an example in plant about what can say for analogous organs, or differentiate between homologous organs and analogous organs for 2 marks. So hence, the homologous organs and analogous organs, they are confined for 1 mark, 2 marks, or 3 marks. So if they give you a define, it's for 1 mark. Define with example for 2 marks. If they ask for 3 marks, you have to tell the following point. That is definition between homologous organs and analogous organ. Then homologous organs speak about divergent evolution. Analogous organs speak about convergent evolution. Then give one examples for each of this. So that will be the 3 marks question for homologous organs and analogous organs. So that is with regarding to examples from morphology and comparative anatomy. Now we are going for the third evidences for evolution, that is evidences from embryology. Let us try to speak about this. Embryological support for evolution was given by Ernest Haeckel based on his observation of certain features during embryonic stage common to all vertebrates that are absent in adults. That is, Ernest Haeckel proposed that there is the similarities between different vertebrates, starting from, that is, you know, vertebrates include fish, amphibians, reptiles, aves, and mammals. So in the embryonic stage, all of these animals, they show certain similarity in their structure. Hence, there may be what can say relationship between this, or it may throw light that one of this might have got transformed to other. So hence this serve as a example for what can say examples from embryology to speak about evolution. For example, embryos of all vertebrates, including human, develop a vestigial gill slit just behind the egg, but it is functional organ only in fish and not found in any adult vertebrate. So to see this, let us make use of this diagram. So you can see the vertebrate embryos, fish, reptile, bird, and human. So you see in all of this, there are gill slits, pharyngeal gill slits. So what does this indicate? That is, all these animals are closely related, or they have got connection with one another as far as their development, as far as their evolution is concerned. So this is what Ernest Haeckel wanted to speak about evolution, showing the comparative similarities in structure in embryos of the adult. But this evidences for embryology given by Ernest Haeckel was disproved by Carl Ernst von Baer by highlighting that embryos never pass through the adult stages of animals. So if you take fish embryo, naturally this fish embryo will grow into fish and it will retain pharyngeal gill slit even in adulthood. But what about reptile, amphibian, birds and human? So this embryonic structures, they are not passed on to adult, they disappear. So therefore you cannot consider this as a best what we can call feature for evidences for evolution. So this is for with regarding to evidences from embryology. So now we will move on to evidences from biochemistry. How does biochemistry support with regarding to evolution? Similarities in proteins and genes for forming a given function among diverse organisms give clues to common ancestry. Might be in molecular biology, you have studied about proteins, you have studied about genes. You see that genes structure is same even in single celled organism, multicellular organism with organ grade of organization and the organism with organ system grade of organization. Even protein structure is almost one and the same. So therefore, what does this speak about? Proteins, for if you take hemoglobin structure, whether it is hemoglobin in man, hemoglobin in fish or frog, structure remains same. It's a protein. Likewise, you take any amino acids which are going to form proteins, their structure remains same. You take genes, the genes which code for different protein, they are one and the same in all organisms. So therefore, this what can say similarities with regarding to structure of proteins or with regarding to genes for forming a given function, that indicates that there is similar, what can say, interrelationship between different organisms. So therefore it will give clue for common ancestry. That's why today, since there is a what we can call clue for common ancestry, today we can insert gene of human and make it to work in bacteria. So therefore this clearly states that every organism is interrelated, and might be this interrelationship is because the organisms have similar genes, protein, and might be by undergoing certain modification the simplest forms have got converted to complex form. So this is evidences from biochemistry. Now let us come for the next evidence from breeding. What does this speak about? That is, that man has bred selected plants and animals for agriculture, horticulture, sports or security. You take dogs, you take cattle, you take plants. For example, mangoes. Varieties of mangoes are there. They are what can say fruit characters literally different. Likewise, you take dogs. There are different breeds of dogs present. But thing is, all of them they have got interrelationship, and all of them they have got almost common ancestors. So therefore, breeding as what can say given an evidence to speak about that different animals are interrelated, and evolution is because of this interrelationship and modification. So this is with reference to what we can call the evidences from breeding. So that's what I told you. The intensive breeding program has created different breeds of breeds which differ from other breeds but still belong to the same group. So they have got common ancestry. So this is with regarding to evidences from breeding. So now we will proceed for evidences from natural selection. So this I'll take up in the next session. Until then, bye.